Hi everyone. I am a Major. In this video, we will learn about adjusting the position of parts. In the previous video, we have learned the selection of inner space. This simple model we have drawn in the previous video. Now, we have drawn the parts inside, such as the neutral plate in the middle, such as the layer board here. For these drawn parts, how can we adjust their positions? At this time, we need to use the knowledge points. The knowledge point of inner empty selection. Okay, now, for example, to adjust the position of this plate, its position. But now, we find that we can't adjust its position. At this time, we need to use the knowledge point about the inner space selection. Okay, now, press the wave key on the keyboard. Press this key. Okay, then it will return to the previous layer's inner space. Okay, this wave key is in this position. Let me emphasize this again. Okay, let's close it. And then, we can see a detail. That is, in the left panel area, there is a 1 here, and there is also a 1. It will also display the current inner space, which is 255. You can see that it is also 255. Now we need to adjust the position of this board. We just click on the top. After clicking, we can directly enter the corresponding ratio. For example, enter 2. Click OK, and then the top will become. It will become 2 parts. And the distance between them will be 2. The inner space below will become 1. So, this is a 2. This is a 1. Which is equivalent to a ratio of 2 to 1. Of course, here we don't have to enter such a ratio. We can enter a specific size. For example, we enter 100. Click OK. This size, it is 100. OK, we click it again. We can change it to 200. So, this dimension is 200. So, we need to adjust the position of the board. Now, it's very convenient. We can enter the corresponding ratio, such as 1, 2, 3, or enter a specific dimension, and then click OK. In this way, we can adjust the position of the board. Now, which board we want to adjust? First, we need to select its corresponding inner space. Okay, now we press the wave key. Okay, after pressing the wave key, we can see that the inner space, it becomes larger. After it gets bigger, then it means we can adjust this board, such a neutral plate. At this time, we can see that, at the top, there will be a display of the left and right inner spaces, and the size of the right inner space. We can see that here is 205, and 205 on the right. We can directly click on it, and we can enter the corresponding ratio. 2. Click OK. OK. In this case, here is 2, and 1 here. 2, 2, 1. Of course, after we click it, we can also enter specific dimensions, such as entering 100. Click OK. Then it will be 100. OK. We can click it to enter 200. OK. Then it is 200. So, it's the same as what we mentioned before. You can enter a corresponding ratio or specific value to adjust the current board's position. Of course, for beginners, may ask, the inner space we are currently selecting. How do we know whether to adjust the horizontal board or the vertical one? Well, it's very simple. If we have experience, we can tell it at a glance. If we can't tell, there is a very simple way to look. It shows left and right, or up and down here. If it shows left and right, then it must be adjusted. This board, because it's the left and right inner space, right? Okay, if now it shows up as up and down, then it is this board that needs to be adjusted, because the inner space is up and down. Okay, so now we can press the wave key to adjust to the inner space we want. For example, this kind of space here. So, for such a cavity, which board should be adjusted? First, let's look here, is left and right. So, it must be adjusted on the left and right, the middle board, so we can judge that. It's probably adjusting this board, right? So, here, we can enter a 2, and you can see that it has changed. So, this board, it will change. Okay. So we can quickly, to determine which board needs to be adjusted. Okay, we can press this approximately equal sign, or press the wave symbol. Then, we can adjust the required inner space. After adjusting it to the required position, we can adjust the position of the board. Its position. Of course, if we are here, we can also draw some plates. We can use gestures. Press and hold the left mouse button from left to right, and move the mouse to create the board we need. For example, if we slide it, to create this board, right? Of course, if we create one, we can press the wave key. At this time, it will be displayed. After it appears, we can adjust it here. In this way, we can adjust the current board. To adjust the position of this board, of course, if we don't need this board, first, we still need to select this, the class space of this level. And then, a vertical and horizontal space appears. We can click the delete button to delete this board. If we want to draw multiple boards at once, for example, we want to draw 4 boards. Okay, we need to press the number 4. After pressing 4, then we can, in the inner space, we can slide the mouse from left to right here. It can generate 4 plates. They are evenly distributed. Well, for these evenly divided boards, we want to adjust their positions. We can also use the wave key. Press this key. Then, we need to bring up the inner space level. Select it, and then, we can see the inner space on the left. We can change the first one here. Second, we can change it arbitrarily. After changing, we can see the corresponding change. So, if we want to adjust these dimensions, it's very simple. Okay, then this is what we talked about in this video. The adjustment of the position of the parts. Thank you, all.